So what's this business with modes? No, not sport mode in your car, I'm talking musical modes. Well, like most things in music, they're just patterns. In my video on the circle of fifths, I talked about the underlying pattern of a major and minor scale. If we start on C, skip a note, skip a note, don't skip a note, skip a note, skip a note, skip a note, and don't skip a note, we've just played the C major scale. As it turns out, the major and minor scale are each their own mode. There are 5 other patterns, or modes, that bring with them their own unique feeling. If we play a C major scale, we're actually playing C Ionian, the first mode. Now, normally we would say that we're just playing in the key of C major, but we could take all the same notes in C major and play something that sounds entirely different. Let's take the second note of C major, D, and play the second mode, Dorian. These are all the same notes that are in C major, but the feeling that it creates is quite different. So each of the 7 scale degrees in C major has its own corresponding mode. The 4th note in C major is F, so it corresponds to the 4th mode, the Lydian mode. So what makes the Lydian mode the Lydian mode? What's the difference between just playing an F major scale and an F Lydian? Well, each mode has its own rules. Those rules are relative to the root note's Ionian mode, the major scale. The F major scale has one flat note, the B. The B is the 4th note in the F major scale. As it turns out, the one rule for the Lydian scale is that the 4th note is sharp, or 1/2 step higher. And that is the reason that the F Lydian matches all of the same notes in the C major scale, where none of the notes are sharp or flat. Without modes, we're thinking about keys, scales, music theory in too rigid of terms. Every grouping of 7 distinct notes in music has 6 other groupings of distinct notes related to it. These 2 chords are E minor and F major. They are 2 distinct chords in the E Phrygian mode. What does it sound like if I play a melody based in the E Phrygian as well? And then, what if I forget about the E Phrygian and play a melody based on C Ionian or C major? The way that these notes relate to each other are all due to modes. Modes are almost like presets for music theory. You can play around with modes to fine-tune the emotion that you're trying to convey. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many more things to understand about modes, but hopefully this shows you just how simple the concept actually is. There are more than just the 2 patterns for major and minor, but the concept that drives them is the same.